had long to wait, have they? Sometimes when it's roll on, roll off, you can be sort of kicking your heels, but that first match, not even an hour. So John Higgins and Xiao Guodong
Thank you.
up next.
Yep.
And Xiao Guodong, the real surprise package of last year's event. On his debut, he was 3-0 down to Ronnie O'Sullivan, beat him 4-3. He was 3-0 down to Mark Selby, beat him 6-5. He beat Mark Allen in the semis. In the final, he was 5-0 down to Mark Williams, got back to 7-5, eventually lost 10-6. So he really did impress on his debut. John Higgins, though, of course, a former champion, and we know he's in form. He was in the last final just last weekend out in China at the International Championship.
There's a rarity. Badly played, very badly played safety shot from John Higgins. Let's let Xiao Guodong in with a really nice chance in this first frame. Yeah, you could say that John and Neil are the two big guns of this group, but Xiao Guodong is the most recent winner of a tournament, and it would not be a shock at all if he took down this group to get into the semi-finals.
Well, if this event was played in Wuhan, it'd be a certainty, because he's won the tournament there the last 2 years. For whatever reason, 2 ranking events he's won have been the same event, back-to-back. Yeah, he's quite an understated character, isn't he? You know, he's someone who just plays snooker, keeps his head down, but I think he's always been a very elegant player. Just found some belief in the last couple of years, and last season he made 54 centuries, so he really did score well.
Yeah, he's a type of player that does everything well. Nothing sort of stand out. You would never sort of remember a match that he's played from maybe a few months ago and say, I remember Xiao Guodong, he was played these shots, it was incredible, but he just does everything so solidly well, and say 15. With that confidence from winning, he's established himself as one of the best players in the world.
Xiao Guodong, 15.
I put my usual kiss of death on the player at the table. Best players in the world, just missed a pink he could have potted with his eyes shut. Very surprising, unforced error.
Well, it's an unexpected opening for John Higgins. Of course, had to get back from China. He left for the airport, I believe, at 2 in the morning, got the flight at 7, was back in the UK by 6 at night, and then went to watch his son Oliver, who's an actor, in a theatre show.
One.
Happy to be in this event. Of course, he was never present until last year. That was the first time he missed the Champion of Champions. And, there were sort of question marks about would he even get back to winning ways. Well, since then, he's won 2 big titles.
Eight.
And also, of course, amongst all the wins against Xiao Guodong, the Crucible, 13-12, second round of the World Championship. He made a 75 break there in the deciding frame.
Nine. You got a chance to see the slightly unusual playing style of John Higgins. You see when he's down playing the shot, the tip of the cue is a long way from the cue ball, which is, I'd say he's pretty much the only one that does it now. The late, great Paul Hunter used to be similar. But it's quite unique. every other player in this tournament, you'll see them when they address the cue ball, the tip will go pretty much all the way to the cue ball.
$15. $16.
Nicely played. He would like to have had another 2 or 3 inches run in the cue ball. Play that with screw and left-hand side. No more loose reds to play for, I don't think. So looking for an angle in the blue here to go into the bunch.
24.
It's not the perfect angle, but it's good enough. Try and get the red that's directly below the blue full in the face. Red is pretty much on the pink spot. Didn't quite get it full on. He may still have a pot to right corner.
29. $30.
2016 was the year he won this title, beat Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final. 2021 lost out in the final to Judd Trump. Only 3 times has he failed to win this match, his first match in the tournament. So he usually, at the very least, gets through to the group final. Thought he played well last week at the International. He
55.
seemed to improve round by round. I guess 2 big wins really against Sean Murphy, who'd been playing so well in the quarterfinals, 6-2. Then in the semis, he was 6-0 up against Stephen Maguire. Eventually beat him 9-2. But Wu Yize was just outstanding in the final. And John really, he did well to win 6 frames. Wu Yize was inspired.
$36. $41. Thanks. 42.
That's nice. He's opened up
47.
3 reds, so 32 the lead. Poised to punish that very unexpected missed pink from Xiao Guodong. Maybe just wasn't quite concentrating as he should have been on it.
48.
Or maybe his strategy is just to go 3-0 down like he did last year in his first 2 matches. Completely frozen out by O'Sullivan, but then, my word, he played superbly to turn it round.
$53. $54.
He's had to play this break without pink and black being in play at any stage. Still a couple of pots away from securing the first frame, John. And yeah, that easy pink that Xiao Guodong missed, it's in this sort of company, in a best of 7, you can't afford unforced errors like that.
59.
Well, I said a couple of pots. He's mathematically 1 away now from securing this first frame. Always a little bit awkward when using the extension. The cue feels slightly different. The weight distribution is not the same. But he won't be trying to do anything too outrageous with the cue ball here. Just make sure the pot. Yeah, and if he was using his normal cue without the extension,
John Higgins,
I think he'd
59.
pot it 99 times out of 100. But it's just a slightly different cueing. Still expected him to get it.
One.
John will be annoyed he hasn't won the frame, but he'll be still pretty confident just with the fact where the pink and black is. I mean, a great shot here would be play the brown and go into the pink and black off 2 cushions and leave yourself on one of the reds. That would be a stunning shot to play. He's decided to just play on the red. Decent shot.
5. $6.
Now he'll have second prize here. If he doesn't get position on the red to pot it, it's an easy snooker to lay. Send the red up the table, leave the cue ball in behind pink and black. And I would think it is the snooker. It'll be the
11.
latter of those 2 shots.
Xiao Guodong, 11.
As long as John hits the red, his opponent has still got the problem of the pink and black. They're not potable, even if he does get a chance to clear up. I expect John to hit the red, but can he keep it safe?
Well, the points difference is the key, isn't it? 33 in it, so you would need at least a pink off the red. That's why it was important for Higgins to hit that red, not give away the 4 points.
There was a shot to send the red up kind of the left-hand side of the table and drop the cue ball in behind pink and black, but it's fraught with danger. If you get the double kiss, you can easily leave the red on. He's playing it. And he's just sort of overcompensated. Gone a bit wider on the red. John will play the safety here, a chance of the cross double into the green pocket. Cue ball up and down the table. He'll be happy enough that he's snookered Xiao Guodong, but he's just moved the pink into a possible position now.
Well, that's calamity.
Foul. John
Needs a
Higgins,
snooker now, and it's going to be a free ball.
And the free ball.
All the scenarios. I mean, obviously he didn't want to leave the red on, but got to hit it. So Higgins now a big favourite in this frame. So Xiao Guodong was in first, but missed that pink to right middle.
One.
Very unexpectedly. John Higgins made a solid 59, and he's going to win this opening frame. Yeah, I'm sure he missed not being here last year in this event because he played in every one. But it didn't take long to get back to winning ways. The World Open and the Tour Championship last season.
Nine. 11. 14.
It was never really Xiao Guodong in control, it felt, of that safety exchange either. He never really had Higgins in serious bother.
$18. 23.
Remember, this is their fifth meeting, these two, of 2025. Higgins has won 3 of the previous 4.
29.
and he's made the better start to this one. With Neil Robertson, of course, waiting in the group final. Tonight is John Higgins, who claims first blood. It's already a fantastic lineup. Of course, in the semi-finals tomorrow night, Judd Trump against Xiao Guodong. Mark Selby will play the winner of this group.
It depends on the angle of this red. He may turn it down, the one to the left corner. If he can't get the cue ball out back up the table without touching the reds, he may have to play with right hand side, which would check it off the black cushion and bring it up the table in a straight line. He's going low, so he's going the other way around the black. No, stunning. Stunning pot.
1.
If he'd missed the pot, I don't know whether the cue ball would have gone on the same path round the back of this red. That's beautiful long pot.
Six.
Doesn't look like the best flick off the brown. Obviously wanted to avoid it, but he could have landed on one.
John Higgins, 6.
Doesn't look particularly settled, Xiao Guodong, and this is why first frames can be significant. If he'd have won the frame when he was in with a nice break, obviously he would have settled into this match. Not going to get many gifts either, is he, from John Higgins? One of the finest tactical players we've ever seen, finest match players we've ever seen. So he's going to have to earn his openings, you would feel. Well, we didn't get much safety in the first match of the afternoon. In fact, already in this one, we've had more safety shots played than in the Robertson-Ford encounter.
Xiao Guodong will be able to pitch a tent up that area of the bulk table soon. You'll be getting sick of the sight of where that cue ball keeps ending up. And the fact that John opened up some reds from that safety shot has made it even more difficult. He's looking at the path to try and land on the red that's closest to the black cushion. If he can't get to that, he's in a bit of trouble here. Oh, I didn't know he could get to that red. And he's taken full advantage. It's John Higgins' turn to be in trouble behind that green and brown. What a shot.
Foul and a miss. Xiao Guodong 4.
Yeah, of course he's looking to skim off the red, so not a lot of margin for error.
Step back. Back.
Slightly surprised by that decision. Because if John gets this right, he'll get it safe. That was, put it this way, in normal play, if John had left Xiao Guodong that red to right corner, he wouldn't have hesitated in playing the pot.
Yeah, good on. Thanks.
If I'm John Higgins, I'm quite happy at that decision. Nice. Got another
Foul and a
look
miss.
at it, but if he's not going to play it the first
Xiao
time,
Guodong
you wouldn't
4.
think he's going to play it the second time. Oh, interesting. Maybe he was waiting for the perfect angle to play the double cannon, stay on the black. Nice pot. Didn't know much about this positional side of the shot, but he's going to take advantage or try to. So you've just seen the benefits of a real world-class safety shot, and that's what Xiao Guodong played to force the mistake out of his opponent.
9.
Yeah, so he's back in as he was in the first frame, and now he's about taking care, which he didn't do in that opening frame when he missed the pink. He's amongst the players who've made maximums this season. That was, in fact, in the Wuhan Open that he won.
16 touching ball.
And he also played in the
17.
World Games, which is a multi-sport event. It's essentially for sports not in the Olympics. So he represented China and won the gold medal. Opted out of the Saudi Arabia tournament, which of course is massive money. So it was a big decision, but he came home with the gold.
24. 25. 32. 33.
I think when players get in the top 16 for the first time, particularly if they've taken a while, as Xiao Guodong has, the question is, can they stay there or do they sort of get nervous and start looking over their shoulder? But in fact, he got as high as number 8 earlier this year, albeit has just fallen back to 12. So the signs are, he's not going anywhere for now.
40. 41.
Some nice stuff here from Xiao Guodong. As I said earlier, he's not going to get
47.
gifts from Higgins. He had to force his way in with a really good safety.
48. 55. 56. 63. 64.
Well, he really has focused hard on this visit. And this black should secure him the second frame. And this was how it all began with this safety shot. He'd been, of course, in trouble himself up behind brown and green, but he returned the favour. Little tap on the table from Higgins.
$72.
So he's gone about this in his sort of typically understated way, just hasn't really been in trouble in this break.
77.
Yeah, in a way that, although he wouldn't have wanted to do it, that easy pink miss in the first frame would have sort of helped his cause in this break, because it would have just sharpened his concentration up, make sure he doesn't do the same thing again. He would have given this visit to the table just 100% focus.
$83. $84. $89.
He made 4 centuries in this event on his debut last year. Can he continue here towards one in this second frame? Oh, not quite, but it was a fine break there. As I say, really good safety to set up the chance. 89 the break from Xiao Guodong, and he draws level with John Higgins at 1 each. Yeah, he's waiting for the winner this evening.
Yeah, all the matches that these two players have played over the last season or two, you kind of want to just give them 3-3 now, don't you? And let's just have the decider. Already it's got that kind of feel. I think one of the reasons we get these players play such close matches is they're both excellent safety players, and neither player really pushes the boat out in terms of taking a risky red on, a risky shot on. They tend to only go for a pot when all the calculations are done, and they can sort of play it without risk, without leaving anything else on. So that kind of cancels each other out.
see that Xiao Guodong is giving thought to the safety because he knows it's an area he needs to compete in. And of course, it was a safety that set up the chance in frame 2 that ultimately got him in for the winning break. John Higgins, of course, is always going to be looking to play the right shot at any point.
Important not to overhit this. The position should take care of itself. Just a little cannon on the red next to the one he's potting for the pink. No, in fact, he played this. Did he play that shot? To screw across for pink to right middle? He could have given benefit of the doubt. I thought the cannon was the easier play to leave the pink to left middle. He's not nicely on this pink.
Seven.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, it's early, but Xiao, head on safety, he's forced another error here out of Higgins to set up this opening. If he stays on top on the safety stats, then you fancy him to win this match, really, because he's be getting the chances.
Eight.
And he showed in that last frame, he's more than capable of taking them.
Sacrificing the black up 15. To the brown spot. So the pink's not fully in the open at all, so it's going to take some good shots to get this break into a position where it can maybe win the frame at this visit.
16.
That was an excellent shot. The table has picked up a bit of pace since the opening day or two. Cue ball's travelling that little bit further, which the players will appreciate.
$21.
Could risk playing for the black here, off this red to left corner. Looking at a red to right middle, which would obviously offer automatic position on the pink to the opposite middle. choosing the slightly more difficult pot, but the easier positional shot. Oh, that red moved. That was in.
Xiao Guodong, 21.
Which makes me think, did the pink move in the first frame? Watch this. That's in there, definitely. Not his fault.
The thing is, he's not the sort of character to react. I mean, a lot of players would have done. He wouldn't have known, but he definitely drifted.
1. Yeah, sure.
There'd be players, other players, still stood there now at the table, giving out.
Well, Karen Wilson said in his post-match interview that the table was, running all over the place. It normally settles down after a couple of days, but that was definitely something that wasn't Xiao Guodong's fault. And that was a mystery, that from John Higgins, why he's left the cue ball there. Complete misjudgment. He's slightly fortunate the brown's off its spot, which makes getting the cue ball in and out of bulk a lot easier. This could have been a tricky shot.
Nine. $14. $15.
Well, the red drifting offline and not finding its target, of course, he made more significant if Xiao Guodong loses the frame off it. Higgins looks to get the reds into play. And what a split this is. Big chance here for the Scot.
22.
Yeah, the secret to that shot was the right-hand side on the cue ball. Once it hit the left side cushion,
23.
took the cue ball up the table to make sure he was on a red. If there's no side on the cue ball, he's not on a red.
John Higgins has won 59 professional
30.
titles of various stripes, of course, world championships and majors in there, team events, all sorts of other tournaments down the decades. But he wouldn't be here if he didn't want to win more.
31.
Just a great competitor who has rediscovered his touch in the last year. That business of dropping out the top 16, it's like it never happened. He was out for a week. Having been there for 29 years. Dropped out for a week, got back in again immediately.
38. 39.
He actually said earlier this season he was just struggling for a bit of motivation, but I think that's really just because it was the summer. It wasn't sort of traditional snooker time. It soon went away once these really big tournaments started coming around the corner.
$46. $47. $54.
So it looks
55.
like 2 pots to that right middle pocket. Going to cost Xiao Guodong 2 frames. Remains to be seen whether the one in the first frame ran off. The one in this frame definitely did. But it looks like both misses are going to cost him.
$62. $63.
Yeah, he was looking good, wasn't he? He'd made 89, he was nicely in, and then this was the moment. See the red turning left. It's cost him. I guess he didn't want he looked up at the monitor, that's the last thing he wanted to see. Higgins, quite rightly,
70.
showing no mercy. Big psychological moment in the match. This is frame ball.
$71. $78. $79. $86. $87.
He's taken them really well as John Higgins and has a chance to make what would be a 9th century in this tournament in the years he's been playing in it. We've had 11
92.
so far this year.
94.
Going to come down to potting this brown along the ball cushion.
$97.
This is about where the golden ball will be next week in Saudi Arabia, but that'll be for $1 million. So it's slightly different.
$101.
But that pot has given him a century, and it's just rubbed it in from Xiao Guodong's point of view. He's had to sit and take this.
$106.
Terrific break, though.
$112.
Xiao Guodong unlucky.
Higgins,
John
119.
Higgins magnificent.
Third frame.
He makes the century clearance to lead 2-1. To lead 2-1. Just a reminder, Neil Robertson has won the first match of the day against Tom Ford, so he'll play the winner of this match this evening. And then we will have our semi-final lineup confirmed. Well, it took a long time over that, but in the end, didn't get too close.
Jiggling quite a bit. One.
Lovely pop, blind pocket. Controlled the cue ball nicely. Knew it was a natural angle to get on the blue, but had to play at the right pace to be right side of the blue. So that was very well played. And the last thing Xiao Guodong wanted to see after John Higgins making a century in the previous frame was him right back on the business end of the table straight away. One thing the top players are not afraid to do
7.
is go break after break after break and reel off streaks of frames.
Well, there's the pot success.
14.
John Higgins at 98%. He's missed one pot. It was that red, wasn't it, to right corner in frame 1, which was frame ball, but he went on to win the frame anyway.
15.
Just a little bit careless there to leave himself awkward, bridging over this other red. Shouldn't be a problem. Just makes the positional side of it a little bit trickier. That played that beautifully.
22.
Interesting to see if he plays for an angle on the black of this red to go into the bunch. They're a great bunch to go in to when you're on the black to the right corner, not so much to the left corner. Yeah, that's perfect.
23.
Because the red directly above the black, he wants to just screw into the left of that. And just try and bring the cue ball towards the left side of the table. Left half of that red, but he's refusing it. He's playing for the open red, which does surprise me. But it is the way he plays now. It's a way that actually, the way a few of the players
30.
play. They tend to leave going into the pack to the very last minute. I always think when there's a loose red, it gives you a bit of insurance. If maybe the split doesn't go well, you've got that red in reserve. But now he needs an angle, the perfect angle, on blue or bulk colour. He's decided
31.
on bulk colour. And it's never as easy to generate the speed on the cue ball, the momentum on it to take it through the reds. settle for that.
33.
That wasn't the way he played it, a glancing blow in the pink, but all he was looking for was one red, and he's got it.
$34.
He's starting to look really good, though, as John Higgins. As I said, maybe a little bit fortunate to get in the last frame. But he took full advantage, and he's, well, there's an air of inevitability about this visit as well.
41. $42.
Yeah, we saw the exit of one member of the class of 92 last night, Mark Williams, but there always seems to be at least one more lurking in the draw. John Higgins looking really good here, but Xiao Guodong just has to be watchful in case an unexpected miss comes.
$50.
No real angle in the blue to speak of, certainly from our view here in the commentary box, to get into the reds. Unless he can play top spin with a lot of left-hand side, but then that red, the left side of the table, might be in the way.
$55.
Dead straight on this red to the right middle is no good. He can maybe play for an angle on the blue to left middle and then go in and out of bulk, possibly. Which is what he's done.
56.
There's going to be some shot to keep the break going here. As you can see, there's no reds to play for. He needs to get into them and bring at least one red out. 3 cushions could be here. Into the reds from the black cushion. Missed the black. Oh. Great effort.
61.
Well, again, he hasn't missed, just didn't get into the reds as intended. So 61 in front, 75 on.
John Higgins, 61.
That sort of emphasises what I was saying earlier on about these two players. There was a red available to go for in the middle of those reds to right corner. And okay, it was risky. But Xiao Guodong didn't even look at it. Both these players won't go for these types of balls that are sort of just more risk than not. Even that attempt from John, that was the cue ball. If it doesn't hit the blue, the cue ball was back to safety.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that makes snooker so interesting, because tomorrow night we'll have Judd Trump against Xiao Guodong, where I suspect a few more will be taken on.
You know, most definitely, certainly from the world champion. Judd is a bit more pragmatic in his shot choices these days, but Xiao Guodong doesn't really refuse much. Doesn't really think of the consequences of missing, and that's the mindset you need.
Of course, that blue over the pocket makes a potential shot to nothing a little bit more interesting, because it could set up a big chance for either one. Of course, Higgins not looking for much more to win the frame.
Very good shot. It's the second best safety shot he's played today. The one in the second frame helped him win it. That was equally as clever and equally as well played.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been pretty much frame over. As I say, the blue was waiting. This is the danger for Xiao Guodong. Higgins 61 in front. Having a look at the plant, potential plant. Well, that was really well worked out, because he's done the frame basically, hasn't he? If he doesn't make it. Seen a red run safe-ish, which doesn't help him.
Played that well.
6.
Sometimes they can go wrong positionally, those shots, when the object ball is right in the jaws of the pocket, but that's landed perfectly. If this red is straight, you'd be tempted to play for the black here. No, it's not done. Just not get the black back in its spot. He doesn't need to, of course. He's got enough points in the bag. Just looking ahead, if he does manage to pot these two reds, the open ones, and has a plan to move the red that's near that right cushion, pink into this corner, an angle on the pink into this corner, half ball pink, would be the ideal way of doing it. Green is an option as well.
Might need to take two pinks with these two reds in order to be able to pot the green and still win the frame. That's why the red and the easy red in the middle before, I thought the chance to get the black back on its spot, it just gives you more points to play with in terms of making the clearance, more options. $20. $26.
So you can see him pointing the tip of his cue to where he wanted the cue ball to pot the green and move that last red that's on the right side cushion.
$27.
Looks pretty good. Has he gone far enough? I think so. He's walking around the table. Doesn't look negative at all. So this is the big shot in this frame.
$30.
So, must get it safe.
Jesus. Guys, I think we just had something up there. Just want to make sure nothing comes down here. Do you want to just move over? Just not sure what's happening.
Oh, there's a wire that's sort of come loose from the ceiling. So, Marcel Eckhart just
get someone from transport, please.
Guiding John Higgins away. We sometimes say the match is going to come down to the wire, but we don't mean literally. Marcel spotted that. I don't think there's any real danger, but obviously it's got to be sorted out.
What's that? Yeah, well, I hope not.
There's always something in this game, isn't there?
Yeah, I suppose the only fear is the wires come loose as one of these big, huge lights come crashing down after it.
That's a good point, Stephen.
I think that's the reason they're not playing.
Well, there it is. There'll be some experts on their way to sort it out. Probably a ladder, I guess, has got to come into play here, hasn't it? I would have thought.
Right, you think you don't want us? No one wants to check that. Well,
It's come at a very important time in the match, hasn't it?
Right.
On the last red here in the fourth frame, 2-1 to Higgins.
They say it's fine. It won't come down. Yeah.
Well, we're being told all is well. Let's hope they're right. Does kind of feel like Red Bull game, doesn't it? Obviously, Higgins only needs the red, but everything else is on, albeit the black maybe could be an issue for Xiao Guodong if he gets that far.
Yeah, another brilliant safety shot from Xiao Guodong. And John's looking at it. I was wondering if he could get to the one cushion escape from the black cushion. Looks like he can. Maybe just need a touch of swerve, yeah, raising the butt of the cue in the air. Aiming down on the right side of the cue ball. Just be careful not to put too much pace into this. Yeah, well played.
Sort of feels like a continuation of the other matches they played this year. All but one was really close. Didn't quite get the cover this time. Not one of his best. So, big shot coming up here. Didn't leave it, but Higgins relieved to see him miss it. Superbly done. Superbly done. And, of course, Xiao Guodong doesn't have a lot of leeway here. If he were to miss the red, he could only tie. If he leaves the red on, it's end of frame. If Higgins bots it, of course. Well, he's held his hand up, but what a result. What a result. Good hit.
Does that even out the roll off, the red? In the third frame. Yeah, this is not easy. I mean, one cushion. Got to come in between brown and blue. Got to judge it. Probably play with a touch of trace of right hand side. Could get a few points back here, Xiao Guodong.
Foul and a miss. Xiao Guodong, 4 under free ball.
Well, I don't know what Xiao Guodong is thinking about. He's got a free ball, obviously, but greens and the last red is a pretty nasty position. I suppose, if you're thinking about it, if you pot the green, you don't have to do anything with the cue ball to get on the brown, so you don't have to play the green with any pace while he has decided to get them put back, which the referee was probably hoping he didn't.
Oh, Marcel Eckhart will get some help from Tatiana Williston on the marker's desk.
So brown on the spot.
Yeah.
Brown on the spot is simple enough.
Green put in line with the brown just outside the D. Yeah. A ball towards me. Touch towards John. That's it. And then the cue ball slightly further away from the black. Keep going. A ball towards you. Half a ball towards you. You close now. Yeah.
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 John, good
Well,
on.
that was very well done, wasn't it? These two, Marcel and Tatiana, two of the very best officials we have, sorted that out quickly. Doesn't make John Higgins' task any easier.
Yeah, I mean, I think Xiao Guodong might get a few more foul points at this, but looking back on it, I may have taken that free ball there. And I say the pot the green on the cushion's not easy, but it had nothing to do with the cue ball to get on the brown. Will he get a better chance? No, John's
Foul
no.
and a miss.
got anywhere near it. And
Xiao
this will
Guodong.
definitely go back. It just remains to be seen how many points Xiao Guodong gets here.
And remember, he fluked this snooker. He was in one himself.
And also playing at
just
the
check
pace
that,
that
please.
John's playing it at, if he does hit the red, just catches it sort of quarter ball, he's probably going to leave it on.
Looks perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. John, good on.
Obviously, he doesn't want to play it much harder because he doesn't want to leave a free ball with a red there. He seems to be playing it plain ball. Just needs a little dab of right hand side. This is good.
Foul.
Oh,
Miss.
so close.
Xiao Guodong,
It's another free ball. It's another decision. I think he'll take this one.
4 and a free ball.
Yes, this time the green hasn't been knocked to the cushion, so Xiao Guodong then with this brown as an extra red with his chance.
One.
Not a good shot. I'm just looking at the angle in the yellow. If he takes yellow to left corner, plays some sort of little cannon on the red. Green looks a little bit thin to get any sort of cannon.
Xiao Guodong, 1.
Yeah, disappointing. And take full advantage of his good luck and fluking that snooker.
So a 31-minute frame. Higgins looking to get to 3-1. Of course, he made a 61 break earlier. Xiao Guodong would be delighted with 2-2. Very different feel to this match than the first one, which was all free-flowing and over in under an hour. Robertson beating Ford 4-1, of course. Well, he caught the red so thin. It's okay, he's not left anything, and the pink could have run safe, but it hasn't. But it's 24 minutes since Higgins broke down on 61, as he was looking good to take the frame. So he's been put through his paces here.
The fluke snooker apart, he's played some excellent safety shots this afternoon, Xiao Guodong. Really has put John Higgins in a lot of trouble.
Foul and a miss. Xiao Guodong, 4. Yeah.
He was 31 points behind at one stage. Xiao Guodong with one red left. He's now only 14 points behind. And now with another chance to win this frame, a better one. One good pot.
One. 6. Eight.
Not perfect on this green, which means it's harder to get perfect on the brown. So sometimes these positional shots, the difficulty just escalates. Did that quite nicely. A little bit of left-hand side, but a check side to stay close to the brown. And because of all those penalty points
15.
he's got in this frame, he's not going to need to play the difficult positional shot from pink to black. Blue and pink's enough.
Well, nearly went badly wrong. Still on the pink. John Higgins' pot success is at 98%. But he's lost the frame.
6 in the frame.
A frame that in every sense
Xiao
was a
Guodong.
high wire act. It's gone to Xiao Guodong, and it's 2-2. Battle that Xiao Guodong, helped by some good safety, helped by a fluke snooker as well, let's be honest. He played a good snooker later behind the yellow. He's won it, and we're all square. Lots of people at this end where we are, the commentary box, just having a discussion about the wires. It's okay. They're microphone cables. So we continue with frame 5. Before now, Rayner stopped play at the snooker. There was a famous match in the 70s at the World Championship. It was a hole in the roof. And the water dropped onto the table. They had to go off, get the covers on.
Played that as well as he should have there, John. This red is on to right corner. Need to nip the cue ball to make sure it doesn't go into the bunch of reds, go past them, back up the table. It's a shot he would have expected to get. Now one nice bit of cueing from John. Mid-distance red. Looks pretty straight to bag 1. Automatic position on the black. Again, extension on the cue. Makes it feel slightly different. And that's 2 he's missed. Putting the extension on. Or has he missed it? Yeah, he has.
He was in such a position of strength, wasn't he? Just didn't get into the reds, did he? He was on that break of 61. He didn't get into them and then the frame just went away from him.
1.
Yeah, going back to that break, I know I said during it, I was surprised he didn't go into the bunch at a perfect angle in the black. Chose not to. And I know when he went into them on the yellow, he ended up on a red, and you think he's still going to win the frame. But just sometimes, I think maybe some of the players just leave it a bit late going into the bunch. Easy to say after the fact, of course.
6. Seven.
Well, Xiao Guodong must be feeling really good after that steal in the last frame. Just very nearly went wrong. It looked like he might have snookered himself on the pink, but didn't. Knocked it in nicely to complete the clearance that he needed. And he was a bit of a master of brinkmanship here last year, as I mentioned, with those 2 deciding frame wins in the same day against Ronnie O'Sullivan and Mark Selby, 3-0 down in both. As I say, he's kind of an understated character, not that demonstrative, but clearly inside very steely. Indeed, to win the Wuhan Open, to retain it, he had to win a decider against Gary Wilson in the final. Marcel Eckhart just trying to get this black in line, not touching the red.
14. Thanks. 15. 22. 23. 30. 31.
So he's developed these reds nicely and the black available. It's a big chance, this. But I guess it's similar to the last frame and the other way around. It was Higgins who was building a nice lead. He couldn't quite kill the frame off. The difference then, though, the reds he hadn't developed.
Well, you couldn't have wished for a better outcome. He played the shot very well, so you deserve the nice position.
$39.
basically stun the pink in, leave the cue ball virtually where the pink is for a red to left corner. This really is a brilliant
45.
opportunity now. Let's go one up with a possible 2 to play.
46.
I mean, it's one of the easiest situations you can get. All the reds are round about the pink. Just a series of little stuns, screw shots. The cue ball shouldn't even be going near cushions really at this stage. These top players have such good control of the cue ball.
$52. $53.
It was a huge break on. First things first, win the frame. Of course, there's no actual high break prize in this tournament. But even so, he wants to keep John Higgins in that seat. Yeah, it was all going so well, wasn't it, in that last frame?
60.
Got to say, the flute snooker did kind of turn it, or was certainly the start of it
61.
turning. Xiao Guodong was snooking himself on the last red. He flute one back. It was a nasty one. Didn't win the frame from that, but it contributed. And now, as you can see, he needs this red, and he's 3-2 up.
$68. $75. $76. $83. Thanks. 84. $91.
This is terrific stuff from Xiao Guodong.
$92.
Okay, flute that snooker, but let's not forget when that ball rolled off in that third frame when he was in. So I guess you could say things have evened themselves out. But there's been nothing lucky about this break. It's been magnificent, just well controlled.
98.
Yeah, he's had the cue ball pretty much on a string
99.
the entire break. Okay, he's not had to really play any splits on the pack at any stage, but still got to do it. Still got to keep control of that cue ball.
104.
And he's done it magnificently.
It's the 13th century break of this year's Champion of Champions. Unlucky for John Higgins. So he needs to find something, but it's been 41 minutes since Higgins potted a ball in this match. He's been completely shut out.
And 12. $114.
As I say, there's no prize, but he can make the highest break so far.
117. $121. $126.
So concern for Higgins. Going 3-2 down is one thing. It's the way Xiao Guodong has taken this frame. Just needed one chance to control things superbly. Bit of fizz on the cue ball to get back for the black.
Xiao Guodong,
132. Terrific break from Xiao Guodong. He was in trouble in the last frame. He dug himself out, and now he's won from victory at 3-2. Guodong with that 1-3-2 has taken the lead and needs one more to take on Neil Robertson tonight in the group final. Seen so many close matches between these two this year. 6-5 at the Players to Higgins, 13-12 at the Crucible to Higgins, 6-4 to Xiao Guodong in Shanghai.
Yes, there's a chance at this red to left corner. I think it's one that his fellow countryman, the world champion, of no hesitation in taking on. Xiao Guodong's had a good think about it. It was always risky, but it was the right shot. If that goes in, you've got a chance to win the match.
Well, look at that. Time since last pot for Higgins, 44 minutes. But how many pots has he had to go at in that time?
One.
Didn't really judge the cannon off the pack properly there. As black is potable, but the positional side of the shot is not guaranteed.
Eight. John Higgins, 8.
Well, it was a chance. How many more will he get? Xiao Guodong's feeling good after that 1-3-2. But the red stays out.
One.
Well, he's back in with a plan. Had to be made. Mentioned earlier, he said in the summer that he was just lacking motivation, but he doesn't in this scenario. This is where John Higgins, of course, always seems to come alive. It's just a general point he was making. Still a bit of a stretch, this.
Nine. $14. $15. $21. $22. $29.
Yeah, it just got a little trickier than it could have been here. And of course, at all times he knows his next shot could be his last. This pocket hasn't been too kind to Xiao Guodong this afternoon. Obviously, at that pace is a different story. Still needed good cueing though.
$35. 36.
Did look really good. Higgins, that 119, then 61, and then lost that frame with the 61, obviously, but he did look really good when he was in. I've already said his pot success, his live pot success is 95%, which is extremely high standard. He's looking good again here.
.44.
Again, he's got a nice angle. If he gets the pink and the red to the left of the pink at the same time, doesn't need to play it with a lot of pace. He'll push that red towards the left corner pocket. Maybe just the pink more than the red, but just a little gentle cannon here. Played it more pace than I thought he would.
Foul.
And that's end of break.
Higgins 44.
Decided to go in at pace.
6.
Thought we'd have played the more gentle cannon, which guaranteed position on a red. Of course, he's unlucky for the pink to go in. If you can get this cue ball and that ball cushion, you can put John in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, that's a good shot. That's a very good shot. Again, granite safety from the Chinese player. Yeah, very good. Very, very good reply from John Higgins. He knew if he messed up that safety shot, it could have been his last shot in the match. Xiao Guodong may have to pot himself out of trouble here. He could play a similar shot, the two reds below the pink, try and get the cue ball back again to near where it is now. Suppose that's the percentage shot. But when you know you're just a frame away from winning the match, these are tempting.
So John Higgins already 46 in front.
1.
Looking good to take us the distance here. As I say, completely different match to the first one. where the average frame time was just over 10 minutes. This match has gone past the 2-hour mark, and it looks like, certainly John Higgins will hope, there's one more frame to come.
Seven. Yeah. Eight.
He'll need one red in addition to the pink. It's a big shot. Xiao Guodong played the long red. Kind of had a do-or-die element to it. Didn't get it. Left the chance. Higgins needs this. And it's looking like a decider.
$15.
Yeah, I don't want to say I told you so, but one each. I did tell you so. As I say, these two players seem to cancel each other out.
$21. Thanks. 22. Ramble.
Well, he's done his job. He's steadied the ship, having sat out 45 minutes without potting a ball. Higgins has dominated this sixth frame. And there's no way back for Xiao Guodong here. Little nod of the head. He's conceded, and it means it's a decider to see who takes on Neil Robertson this evening. John Higgins 3, Xiao Guodong 3. Xiao Guodong to break at 3-3. There's only 4 points between them on the aggregate, so it's been closely fought. thanks to the great statistical website Q Tracker, we can look up who has won the most deciders in snooker, and it is John Higgins. Mark Selby second, Mark Williams third. So it bodes well for him here, but let's see.
Foul. John Higgins 6.
Well, the pink going in is interesting. Depends whether he's left a chance Higgins fancies or does he put him back in. He's opened everything up. It was all about the cue ball. Yeah, so he's put him back in, which was, of course, the choice after the foul.
Yeah, this looks another occasion where he may have to pop himself out of trouble here. Red to left corner. The cue ball, you just kind of trust into luck a little bit. That one there. Kind of get the cue ball out of there to get on a colour. He's looking at the one to right corner. He's got the same problem. The cue ball can't avoid hitting other balls. Suppose as you play the thinner one of these two to the right corner, you could play it with check side, take the cue ball back up the table, but it looks like he's decided on this one. Now you just got to fully commit. If you miss it, you miss it. Well, it looked like it had a phenomenal bit of run of the ball. I mean, it's not the worst. Okay, he's left John a red to left corner, but you can see he's bridging over the black. How does he get on a colour? I'd say that's not a bad result for Xiao Guodong. I think John can believe it. This pot is difficult enough, but how does he get on a colour? That's brilliant. That's brilliant to get the cue ball there.
Great shot. He'd have loved the blue on its spot, wouldn't he? Look at the reds, invitingly placed.
Again, that's top drawer from John Higgins. That shot is so easy to take your eye off the pot watching the cue ball, because the cue ball had to avoid 3 balls to get in and out of bulk. And he's given himself a great chance.
Seven.
He'll be devastated if he doesn't win the match from this visit. Okay, looks like pink and black are out of commission at the moment. Pink's on to left middle. That looks just about it. Can you play for the red next to the black here? Don't think he played that cannon on the pink, because it served no purpose. think he just got into the cue ball a little bit too much. Now that red touching the black, if that pots the left corner, I'd love to get on that.
$18.
And that's the problem when the pink and black's out of commission. He's come wrong side of the red to left middle. And he may have to leave the blue to the green pocket.
$19.
Blue into right middle is a tough pot, but avoiding the cue ball cannon into any of the balls that's in the bulk area is even more difficult. This could easily go wrong.
$24.
Well, there's been some high stakes stuff already. He's only made 24. He's caught the brown. Now he's seeing, does this red still pot? It's still a big shot with all the reds there waiting for Xiao Guodong if he misses it.
$25.
It's just not getting any nicer, is it, this break? I mean, Mark Williams, he potted a blue like this yesterday. I don't think John Higgins will be contemplating that shot.
Blue ball. John Higgins, 25.
Well, I've played about half a dozen world-class safety shots today. Xiao Guodong, that's another one.
Yeah, keeping the pressure on. And the stats tell us that Xiao Guodong has bossed the safety, really, in this match. 79% against Higgins, 66. But despite all of that, he knocks that one in to take back control of the frame.
1. Bramble. John Higgins, 1. Thanks. Foul and a miss. John Higgins, 4.
So black's available to left corner. It's taken 2 or 3 attempts getting down to this.
1.
And if this goes in, you'd have to think it's the beginning of the end of this match. The way the reds are situated, black's going to be back on its spot, pink's in the open. So one good pot here, and you would think it's John Higgins that wins this match.
You can see the willpower written all over his face. There's a few worry lines there, but that's 30 years of snooker at the highest level.
Yeah, there was a time 5 or 6 years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, they didn't seem to be potting the sort of clutch shots in matches, but that's all gone. Now, he's back. You just fancy him getting the big shots again.
$16.
I feel Xiao Guodong's not done much wrong in this decider. I mean, he seemed to have played a good safety. He had the white nail to the baulk cushion, but Higgins knocked the long red in. He was then able to play that shot behind the brown that has yielded this chance. It's now about just staying in for the next few minutes.
Got it. 17.
Still pressure on, though. He's played well. It will be a very disappointing match to lose now because he's in the position to win it. going to take something special to stop him. Red and a black
24.
is what he needs. What an effort this has been. 3-2 down, but he's ended up dominating the last two frames. This black, and it's snooker's required, and it's looking like Neil Robertson against John Higgins in a heavyweight clash this evening. He turned 50, Higgins,
32.
earlier this year, and he's a big fan of the old US soap Dallas. His wife Denise took him out, and they stayed in the South Fork Ranch. But in the great soap opera that is snooker,
32.
the unpredictable can still happen. He's missed that, and that is just a little glimmer, isn't it? You know, if that goes in, it's over for sure. No real reason to miss it, but he has. So one snooker needed. Is there still a couple of twists in the tail?
1. Eight. 9. 16. Xiao Guodong, 16.
'Well, there's two chances he's had to definitively kill this off.
He'll be fuming inside, John Higgins, because he knows this. He should already be out the arena doing his post-match interview, celebrating this win, getting ready for the final of the group tonight. But he's just a little bit of carelessness prolonged this deciding frame. Still a heavy favourite, but it should be done and dusted by now.
One. 8. 16. Xiao Guodong, 16.
Well, that kiss on the green from the red was golden for Xiao Guodong.
He's one snooker, so he could elect to pot the red and black. Well, this is obviously not an easy pot. You tend to only do that when the pot's guaranteed. It's a risk to take it on, but it is a possibility with him only needing one snooker. Well, he did, and he absolutely butchered it, you have to say. Well, he's got away with it, barring a double, which John Higgins is one of the best there's ever been at.
I mean, winning the match is the main thing, but he's put, potentially 20 minutes on this. Bearing in mind he's got to play again tonight if he does win against the great Neil Robertson, with not a lot of time between sessions. This is someone who travelled back from China on Monday. Yeah, he just hasn't quite threatened to lay a really good one yet, but the threat remains. Remember, Higgins has had, of course, the initial chance to pop the extra red. He had another chance after that to the right middle. He'd love this to go in.
Well, the wry smile because the in-off is, well, it's right there. If you come off the left cushion, it's an easy hit. The red off the left cushion, but probably 8 times out of 10, maybe 9, you go in off, and that's match over.
well. John
Yeah,
Higgins.
he kind of knew. I think that was coming.
Frank
And
conceded
he's
playing
left the
match,
red
John
on and
Higgins.
he's conceded. What a battle it was. Xiao Guodong played very, very well. John Higgins, though, from 3-2 down, has dug himself out of trouble, and he will play Neil Robertson in the group final tonight. He's the winner by 4 frames to 3.